Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. It's today we're going to be reviewing Halloween Kills. So, this film, I've kind of built a little bit of nostalgia for. Not nostalgia, enough time hasn't really passed, but around this time in October 2021, I remember it was my 7th grade year, and around October, the Chucky Season 1 series had came out, and then Halloween Kills came out on October 28th. So that month, I was getting two of my favorite horror characters. Not my like Freddy and Jason have always been up there more. You know, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th. But I've always really enjoyed the Halloween films and the Child's Play films. So to get these two series and these two new installments back to back was really cool to me. I remember how hyped up I was for that show. Even though Chucky, that show went off. I think after season two, it kind of went off, or season two kind of. As much as I enjoyed some of the references, it leaned too far into the campy, trying to be too, goofy. Season one was a lot more grounded and stuff, honestly. But this is a Halloween review, and I honestly, I watched this one on Peacock, Halloween Kills, because I saw the other two in the theaters, and this one to me is my favorite of the trilogy. As you know, I said last episode that Laurie, the writing isn't as good. It kind of does it again. They made it too much as a Sarah Connor character, which is good, but I think she's better. Like, obviously she's hurt because she has to be in the hospital in this one. She's with Frank, the officer who. Let's talk about that shot really. That scene. So it opens with a 1978 flashback because in this timeline they catch Michael because they go to the old Myers house, and he's up there and he attacks, and it looks really good. They make it look exactly like the 1978 film, or close to it, and you see. So one of the characters, who's the other cop, gets strangled by Michael, and Frank, the other detective, accidentally shoots him. So Michael just walks downstairs. Loomis catches him. All the cops, he stops Loomis from shooting Michael. And they even have a really good actor. I believe he was a set designer. He looks a lot like Dr. Loomis, and he had a good resemblance to Donald Pleasance. So they just had him play with a little bit of makeup. Not much makeup. I think it was a little bit of something else, and they made him look like Loomis exactly. It looks really uncanny. But it's kind of good to see Loomis again in a Halloween film because we haven't had him since Halloween 6. Again, rest in peace, Donald Pleasance. But that's just part of my favorite scene in the movie. Now, this film lives up to its name. It's basically Halloween Kills. The whole thing is we see Michael. I love the way it just shows Haddonfield as different shows the effect of Michael on everyone. Everybody's paranoid. Everybody's getting into mobs and stuff, trying to look for him. One of the scenes that is known probably is the one where one of the other the mental hospital patients escapes, and they mistake him for being Michael, and they pressure him to where he jumps off out the window of the hospital and commits suicide because they pressured him, because it was just fear mongering. And I think that Karen really is a better character in this film. This is kind of her film because we got a lot more to do with her and stuff. She tries to help the man who they thought was Michael, and she actually gets killed at the end of this film, which we'll talk about that in a little bit. But again, James Jude Courtney, great again as Michael. Let's talk about some of the standout kills I thought were good. The one where the husband of the wife who he stabs the fluorescent light in the neck. He basically just uses a bunch of knives on him and then smacks. He first gets his head and smacks him into the wall or something like that, into the glass, and then he just uses the whole all the knives from the cutlery box and just stabs into him. Just a very kind of long drawn out scene, but it shows Michael. We also get to see some of the reactions, I believe, of Julian, the kid from Halloween 2018, to Vicky's death, his babysitter. I remember some of the names of the characters. And another good Michael kill is the couple who are in his house, Little John and Little John and Big John. Big John gets his eyes pressed out, and then Little John just gets stabbed a lot. But still, it's just the way he positions their bodies, showing Michael kind of does that. Michael also we get the return of Lindsay from the original. He doesn't kill her. He actually has a good kill on, not really, it's not a standout kill, but it's a kill on Marion Chambers, the woman who was the nurse in the original. You know, she runs out all the ammo and stuff, so Michael ends up killing her. And the one guy, the doctor dressed up as a nurse in the back, gets stabbed in the eye with a knife. And then his wife gets out and starts trying to like be a hero and stuff, or she's walking towards the car, firing the pistol towards Michael, and then all of a sudden, he just kicks the door, and somehow, the gun changes directions, shoots herself in the head with it. Just that was like, it's kind of a laugh out. Like, it's kind of absurd how it happened, but it's Michael just using the surroundings, to his advantage. We also get those. There's the three kids who are wearing the 3 Season of the Witch masks. Kind of a cool callback. One of them gets killed, I believe. You see his body later on. And we get the return of a character from the original, Lonnie. So Lonnie was one of the bullies of Tommy in the original. And Lonnie is... He goes out with Cameron, Allison's boyfriend from Halloween 2018, and Allison. And they agree to kind of make up just for the good of the town. They don't really make up because they want to be together, but they all kind of go out and they look for Michael. And Lonnie's dad gets killed. I don't remember how, but Lonnie gets killed. Cameron gets really torn up. Gets his head knocked between the banister, like the pillars and the spindles or whatever, on the banister. And then it gets his neck snapped by Michael. And then the finale is Karen leads Michael out. Stabs him with a pitchfork, and takes his mask off and leads him out into a mob. And then Sheriff Brackett, Tommy returned to in this film. He sets up the mob, the evil dies tonight thing. Tommy and a lot of other townsfolk are just they're beating down on him. And they're like, Karen stabs him in the back with a knife. And Laurie gives this monologue about how evil, he's just, you can't kill evil. And Michael just gets back up and just goes on a killing. Slashes necks, uses weapons against them, and then Tommy, he crushes his head with his own baseball bat, picks up Tommy's bat and just smacks him in the head till he just a rampage. That's the whole thing about this film. Michael is going on a rampage. This is basically Halloween Kills. It lives up to the name. So, and it ends with Karen trying to do this thing, because we get a scene of Frank talking about how when he was a kid, his parents would make him go over and play at Michael's house, and Michael would just stare out the window. And they always wondered if he was looking out at Haunted or staring back in his reflection. So Karen tries to go upstairs and see what that's like. Which I really don't understand. It's not like Michael's her family. I guess she's just curious, but and Michael kills her. And there's even, I think, a deleted scene, possibly, of Laurie calling Karen, and you can hear Michael's breathing. And one last thing before I end this, let's talk about that firefighter. So at the beginning, at the end, Michael was putting the trap at the basement in Halloween 2018, and now, in the fire, he survived it. The poor firefighters get demolished by him. He kills 6 of them with their own weapons. One has a saw, and he just turns it back. You feel bad for them, yeah. But it's just shows how much of a rampage he's on. And I do like how this film takes place right after Halloween 2018, so I enjoy Halloween Kills. I think this film got a bad rep, but I don't think it's as bad as people said it was, or it's not even forgettable. It's actually really, it's definitely my favorite of this Blumhouse trilogy, and it's probably my favorite since Halloween H2O in this franchise, I'm not gonna lie. So I don't know where it ranks. I'll probably rank it high whenever I end up doing the ranking tomorrow, or the day after next. But still, really, I think that this is the best of the trilogy. It's the most it feels the most Halloween-like. I like how the fear mongering is a real thing. To me, it's a really amazing film, at least in this trilogy. So, give Halloween Kills a second chance. I know Halloween Kills was it's a middle movie, and it's not as risky as Halloween Ends, but it's also not as it wasn't as kind of traditional Halloween as Halloween 2018, which was really killing the whole time. But the story is good, honestly, and I think that, again, Andy, she does good playing Allison. Laurie does good. Jamie Lee Curtis does good playing Laurie. And overall, just really great cast. So, that'll do it for this one. I love you guys. Take care. Stay blessed. Christ loves you. See you in the next one. Good night.